So my guide on how to find competitor Google My Business categories has been live for just over a year now. And as of lately, I've had a lot of people reach out just saying that they've had trouble finding the categories or following the process. So I just wanted to walk through it here A to Z and clear up any confusion or any problems that people might be having. So before I get into it here, I just wanted to note that I'll be using the Google My Business Audit template. The link to it will be in the description. It's just super helpful for organizing categories and organizing the Google My Business Audit. And additionally, it's something that you can share with the client as a deliverable if you so choose. So with that being said, I will get into it here. So the first step here is going to obviously be to identify the query that you want to rank for. I'm not going to get into that here, but I will likely cover it in a future video. So this is all going to be a hypothetical, which is that hypothetically, I have a client here who wants to rank for personal injury attorney Phoenix, and that they are not ranking here in local pack. So these are going to be their competitors, which we are going to be auditing. So the first step here is to copy and paste the listing title and head over to Google Maps. We're just going to click through to Google Maps here and copy and paste in that listing title, and it should pop up here. And this is super important. So you want to note that the URL contains maps, place, and the listing title, as well as the longitude and latitude of the location. If the URL doesn't contain this, you messed up somewhere and this is not going to work. So be sure that the URL looks like this. Now the next step here is also important. So this is going to be the listing title, the reviews, and obviously the primary category here. And since we want to view the source code, we're going to want to click in this panel here that contains all this information. If you don't click in this panel, the process is not going to work. So we'll click view page source here. And it's also important to note here that you'll see a meta content equals star rating, as well as the primary category. So you can also copy the primary category here. And next we're going to pull up the command function, which on PC is Control F, and on Mac it is Command F. So we're going to copy and paste our primary category here, and that should take us down to this string of text here. So you'll see that the primary category is here, and you will also see a string of additional categories. And this is going to be the additional categories on that GMB listing. So I'm going to back up just a bit here because I forgot to copy some of this into the Google My Business Audit template. So we're just going to copy the listing title here as competitor 1 because they are ranking number 1 in local pack. And I'm also going to copy the competitor link here just in case we need to come back to it. And we are also going to copy in the rest of the categories here. So the primary category here is going to go in the appropriate field here of primary category. And you're going to want to paste it up here, otherwise it's going to change the formatting, which you don't want if you care about just the visual appeal and everything like that. So I recommend just copying and pasting it up there. And next we're just going to copy and paste each of these additional categories into the fields here. So it looks like their secondary category is attorney referral service, which is common for law firms just because quite a lot of them refer out cases that either A, they don't want, or B, they just can't handle. So that's very common to see. And it looks like their next two categories are legal services and trial attorneys. Ooh. Don't know what happened there. So we're going to copy and paste this last category here, and that is it for the category audit. Of course, you'll want to repeat this process for each of the additional competitors, which I'll just go through briefly here. So let's just go back to our search result here for the target query. I believe I also forgot to copy and paste this into the template. That's super important too, because it's likely that you don't have a perfect memory, at least if you're me, and you just tend to forget things. So documenting everything, oh, looks like it was in there. So you'll want to copy and paste that here. It's just super important just so you have everything documented here and you know exactly what you did, who you audited, and all of that good stuff. So like I said, I will just go through this just real quick here for the Phillips Law Group. So we're going to copy the title, paste it in here, head over to Google Maps, which we already had up, and it looks like they have multiple locations. So I'm going to want to note where this exactly was, which is Central Avenue. So let's see if that pops up here. Looks like it's right here, so we're going to click through to that. And actually, that does not look accurate. They had 1,161 reviews. So I think it was this one. Yep, that was it. So we are just going to copy and paste. Actually, we're going to refresh this here. Looks like that didn't copy. There we go. If you noticed, the URL didn't look correct there, so I went ahead and refreshed it and went back to the listing. So we're going to copy that in here as well, just over this hashtag. You'll be able to reference it later. And we can just drag this over because we know the primary category is personal injury attorney. And I'm going to view this other source. I'm going to close this other source code tab, and we are going to click View Page Source here. Search for personal injury attorney, and just filter through some of these. Now, it's not always the case that it'll be the third result. Sometimes you'll have to click down further. But for these, it seems to be the third result. So we're just going to copy this in, and it looks like they only have 2 additional categories, which is law firm and attorney. So I'm just going to paste those in here. I'm just going to copy and paste attorneys there. So we would, of course, repeat this for our third competitor. And we would also walk through this process for our own listing or our client's listing. And the purpose of this is, of course, to compare what other people are using in order to rank for this query so that we, of course, can rank for the query as well. Now, hopefully this helped clear up any confusion. If it did, please leave a like on the video and subscribe. You'll be able to see my future videos and get notified when those release. If it didn't make sense or you got lost somewhere in the process, please just leave a comment and I will try to get back to you. Additionally, you can also join the Local SEO Hacks Facebook group. It's a private group, and I always just update it with information and findings, as well as answer any questions that group members have. A lot of these people use my templates and things like that, so I'm always happy to help out, and I'm pretty active in there. So I will leave a link to that in the description, as well as the GMB category, as well as the GMB audit template. So you'll be able to find those in the video description, and that should be it. So hopefully that was helpful, and thanks for watching. And as always, happy SEOing.